Hi, today's class will discuss about the Spring Web MVC. First of all, to know the what is a Web MVC, first of all you should be familiar with our core modules like core models like core model architectures like Model 1 and Model 2 architectures. Let me take 5 minutes and explain the complete architecture of model and model architecture. From there we can go to Spring Web MVC. Okay. Here in Model 1 architecture, I have a browser. I'm sending a request to the controller. When the client has sent a request to the controller, the request number 1, please write down, very important concept. Don't think Chaitanya will tell why everything is important, but please take it. When I send a request to the browser, when a client send a request to my application, the controller will communicate, take the data and set the data into the Java Bean object. Set and get methods. Step number 2. What Java Bean object will do, it will go ahead and it will get the data from the database. set the data into the our object called Java Bin object. Now, once Java Bin object is ready, then I am going to give the data back to the my controller. Hey controller, this is the data I am going to give from the database. Once controller got the data, so we have a request response objects, right? So based on the request response objects, I'm getting the response back to the browser saying like successfully logged in. For example, this is called model 1 architecture. Please write down. The client directly access the pages in the web container. The client directly access the pages in the web container. And these pages service the entire request and and these pages service the entire request send the response back. While serving the client request, these pages generally use a model which represents the business logic for the application. Which represents the business logic for the application. These pages are usually implemented using JSP pages. Sometimes servlets, and model as a beans. Beans means what? Java standard beans. Java beans. In this and model as a beans. In this architecture, controlling the presentation, controlling and presentation are mixed into a single component. Single box, we can say. That means, if you see some examples we developed with the initial stage in servlet examples, right? So internally I provided HTML code in the servlet objects itself, right? You might have seen the project called as servlet hidden forms. There one the complete HTML page itself I provided inside the servlets. Yes. And also I am validating the data inside the servlet only, right? That is called as this part. In this architecture, controlling and presentation are mixed into a single component. And this architecture is known as Model 1 architecture. Since this architecture is known as Model 1 architecture, very important concept. We'll talk about model architecture. Here in model architecture, this is the client and browser. Please take the diagrams. I'm not going to send the diagrams to you. Don't take the screenshot. You write down the diagram. Suguna. Client send a request to the controller. View. Here client send a request. This is request, this is response. Request.
Controller view?
No. I'm not explaining it. I'm just giving the diagram explanation. Controller will dispatch the request to the model. This is called as model. Here we provide the business logic. Now, from the model, I am going to set the data into the DB. Set data. And also controller will also get the set the data to the view also. Whatever the data we got from the model object, the controller will take the model object data and set the data into the view also. You can say forward. If you see any forward examples we discussed so far, request dispatcher will forward and include, right? Hello.
Yes, Chaitanya. Yes, we saw those examples. Chaitanya, can you show the diagrams?
One second. From a view also, sometimes I'll get the data. Now, from the view, I'm going to give the response back to the browser. We already discussed this MVC2 architecture, I guess, example wise. Servlet, Java Bean, JSP, I discussed it, right? This is on the same thing. Nothing is here. Just I'm explaining different way. Response 6. We already discussed on the MVC2. I don't want to cover more on this. Client send a request to the controller. Controller will only handle all the requests and it will identify what to execute. Then if it is a proper request, then it will go ahead and check with the database logics. Like here, that business logic can be model bean. From model bean, I will communicate with the Hibernate or JDBC. From JDBC, I will communicate with the database. Once it is back, data will be coming to the data. I'm pulling the data from using JDBC or Hibernate. Based on Hibernate JDBC logic, I'm going to set the data, set emp name, set emp cell, set emp type. So that data I'm going to dispatch it to the controller object. Controller object is responsible to see proper view. So what is the data? Set emp name, employee name, and employee salary is got it here. So it will go to display into the UI. Okay, or else I can just it will take the control. It will just follow to directly view. View also can have access by using from JSP code. Also you can connect with model bin objects. From model bin objects you can connect with Hibernate or JDBC. From JDBC you will connect with the database. You can get the data, right? So finally we are sending the response back from the view presentation. In this model 2 architecture, in this model 2 architecture, client cannot directly access the pages.
Check in your diagram, please. One second.
The client cannot directly access the pages. Instead, all the requests are made to the controller component, generally implemented as a servlet. The controller component then uses the model to process model internally in the bracket, which is generally Java Bean or EJB, to process client request and then dispatches the request to view pages. These pages, the process the client request and then dispatches the request to view pages, internally implemented using JSP. These pages prepare the response and send it the response to the client. Design patterns. Design patterns are the design patterns are nothing but are strategies that allow the programmers to share knowledge about the recurring problems and their solutions. Here, there are some design patterns available. Here, there are some design patterns available in Java. We'll talk about design patterns later. I don't want to discuss now. One of the design patterns we use for controller, that is called as front controller design pattern. Front controller design pattern. Bad habit seeing the messages. In our Model 2 architecture, the controller design will be front controller design pattern. Okay. Now I'm going to develop a project. The project, I'm not going to Maven project here. And manually I want to develop the application. Now we'll see what we can do with this. Design pattern separate concept, it is separate class we can talk about later, not now. Okay. Let me show you some basic example of Spring Web MVC. One MVC1, yes. Why? Okay, servers not discuss. I don't know. Sorry, I want to show you WebLogic and JBoss also, but remember me, I may forget. I have everything is ready in my laptop, so you guys no need to worry for that. Again, you will time waste on this downloading, uploading. So you guys no need to worry for that. Servers. If you see, this is Apache Tomcat 7.0.37 version and 8.0.5 version, JBoss 5, JBoss 5, JBoss 7, and Tomcat. So I have WebLogic 8, WebLogic 9, WebLogic 10 also there. Current timing I am taking Apache Tomcat 7.0.37 since we already selected here. So I need to select the install JRE path here. This is the way we can set the JDK path for my projects. Click on finish. So my setup is ready. Spring MVC1. Click on next. Click on next. Generate deployment descriptor. Click on next. Click on finish. I have an index.jsp here. Let me create a new table. From there, I want to, like, I have some users. Help me out to create a table.
Create table. Table name.
First of all, we should create the table. We need to verify this table name is there or not. We don't need to verify. You can verify it also, but you can directly say drop command. Create table user details. And there is a table is there or what? One second, unnecessary top. Okay. Create table user details.
Name.
Yeah, I'm writing. Give me 1 minute. Username varchar 2 of 20.
Email ID. First name, last name, or else. Password.
cat 220 and email.
Here, the 220.
Address. Mobile. Only 10 characters, only mobile number. Type. Okay. I have a table here. I created a table. Username, user pass, email, address, mobile type. I'm committing the changes. That means one table is there here for me. Okay. Now, I want to verify the data, verify the username, password, so that the data should be there in my object, in my database. Form tag action equal to login dot spring and the form tag. Can you quickly help me out to create in the form quickly? Username.
Username. Input type equal to text.
Okay. Pawan, you are not there in the class?
Value.
No, value, no
Name.
value. Right?
Yeah, name. Yeah. Name, username or username.
I think Pawan is not there.
User pass.
I can copy this one.
Yeah. User pass.
Password.
I'm
Password.
there, Chaitanya. I'm having mild headache, so
Password.
Okay.
just
Mash. Here I want everybody should do. I am only doing only text object, right? I want HTML assignment checkboxes and images, radio buttons. I want everybody should do. Okay. Submit. Login. Okay. Give me 1 minute. I am a cricket fan, so I have a match today. Semi-finals versus England versus New Zealand. New Zealand versus South Africa.
it's not started, right?
It will start now. Another 5 minutes.
Oh God, today also night out.
Today also? My daughter.
Today also I have a background noise.
Okay. My husband will watch.
It's happening here also, Pavani.
I seriously want to disconnect the internet and sleep.
Seriously.
Let's cancel the class and discuss it. Right? Let's cancel the class and we will go for the rest.
The thing is, Chaitanya is also discussing that.
I know.
I'm going to create a login controller here. Click on finish button. Just a normal class. The login controller implements controller. I'm setting the build path for my application. I download the Spring 3.0 jar file. I'm removing the 2.5 here. Now, we'll create a main project. I don't want to download time waste on this. Let's get a main project. Can you give me 1 minute?
Yeah, sure, Chetan.
Yeah. room, that's what. I'm going to install the Maven project example, Maven dependencies here. I'm copying the Maven repository dependency. I'm running the application. Run, Maven install. Now, I'm going to create a class, create a controller object called as login controller. Which extends, there is a controller object is available in Spring. We'll discuss later. First, let me finish the example. Why it is not taking it? I can set the manually also. It is not coming. Okay, implements. So here, controller is a interface. We'll discuss about later. Login controller, which implements controller interface. So there are some unimplemented methods are there in the controller. We'll see what is there. Now we'll directly see. We'll implement the methods. Model and view handle requests, keep select request, keep select response. I need to set the jar file for this one to make available request and response objects. Jar files are coming from my servers. Apache Tomcat, lib, select.jar file. So the errors are gone now. So in handle request method, I'm going to, by using request.get parameter, request.get parameter of index. Okay. So there is an index.html file, that project. Where is that project? I removed it. Okay. Create on the index.jsp file. I have to go back again, normal application. Sorry for this. Because while developing the Maven project, right, I should make it as a web project, or else it won't take it. Here, as we already covered that index.jsp file, so I'm going to delete this project. So in index.jsp, I want to create the form. Uname and upass. In uname and upass, I'm going to get the values by using the request get parameter. Once we have request get parameter data here, from here I want to call the model object. Let me create a model object here, called as login model. I have a constructor object here, constructor here. I would like to have a JDBC template. Since JDBC template is not there, so I'm calling the parameter to the, I'm passing the parameter to my constructor here, J2ee. Now this dot equal to J2ee. I have a login object here. Inside the login object, I'm going to do something method. I'm going to call the method where we validate data. That valid means incidentally I'm going to pass some string uname pass. I'd like to validate the data by using JDBC template dot query. Query for object. SQL equal to select type from user details where username equal to plus unit. User pass and user pass equal to pass. The required type will be string. I want string object should be back. String data, where type of type. That's it. So here the return type will be, I'm just directly returning this object. String. Now here, now this login model object I am calling from, I'm creating the login model object, or I am making a login controller. The login model is set method injection here. Let me create login model object. Private login model. I want to make an injection of set method injection here. Okay. Let me write manually. Now once we are setting the login model object here, I want to load the Based on the login model object dot valid data, I want to pass the username and I want to pass the password. The return type will be string. If type equal to null, then returning new model and view object slash index.jsp. Else if type dot equals admin should return admin home. Let me create admin home.jsp. Else it should return new model and view object of user home.jsp. Let me create admin home and user home.jsps, then we can deploy the application to the server. Okay. Now here we are going to discuss admin home.jsp. Just copying the logic here, again pasting it here. Admin home.jsp, then user home.jsp. We'll see internally what we can write with. We'll implement this one later. Now, the implementation we are doing here is login model. Internally, I am using construct injection of JDBC template. In the case of login controller, I am injecting login model because login controller is dependent on login model. So I am injecting with the set method injection. Okay. Now, copy the beans.xml file from the earlier examples and we'll do it from there. Manually we have to put it in the web folder. So the file name will be, I'm going to change it here. There are many changes will come here. ds-servlet.xml. servlet. Yes. Now inside this, I don't want to do anything here. Factory not required. Template not required. JDBC required. Instead of DEP to DAO, I should go for my login model object. login model, which is located in com.c.sp.login model. Okay, and internal I am going to use JDBC template as a constructor argument as part of this. Now I am going to create one more part here called as controller. Login controller. Here, the login controller, I am using a set method injection since login model I set as a
Constructor injection.
excellent set method injection, ma'am, not constructor. In the login controller I set as a
Last login model, right?
sorry.
Login model constructor injection.
No, login controller
Is set method injection.
either only yes or no answers, true or false. If it's not this one, okay, yes, no. Yes. So I am setting the properties here. I am setting the property of login model here for the login controller. Now, again, we have some configuration need to be done here. There is a class called as simple URL handler mapping. There is a class called as simple URL handler mapping. Handler simple URL handler mapping. There is a class from Spring Framework. So property name I'm going to make as a mapping here, mappings, and here prop inside the properties I have some props are there. So prop, the property key will be props. Inside the prop I have property keys. The key contains the /login.spring. Since we already given the /login.spring, you can make this difference as a login controller. That means whenever user submit the login button, it will execute login controller login.spring. From the login.spring, it should match with login controller. To make it a configuration, I'm going to use this login spring into the my servlet. Once you click on login.spring is executed, the controller will go to login controller. From there we are getting all the data. From all the data, username, password data, I am going to pass login model, valid data method. From there I am execute from login data, login model again I am getting the JDBC template object. This is the control. Just this much only thing is required. Yeah, and now let's complete admin home.jsp here. The admin home.jsp contains username, expressions, request dot get parameter of what we given here, uname. Okay, you can say welcome to admin Leah. Let me implement the user form, user home.jsp. Same logic, same body, and I'm going to do user home.jsp. Welcome to user home. Okay, so far clear, right? Now main thing is I'm going to implement, I'm going to change some changes into the web.xml file. So in web.xml file, I should provide my servlet information, I should provide my control information. Now here, servlet name called as ds, servlet class called as dispatcher servlet. There is a servlet called as dispatcher servlet. We'll talk about later. Just okay. So this is the servlet tag. Let me have a servlet mapping here. Inside the servlet mapping, servlet name, ds, URL pattern is star.spring, because whatever is available dot spring, it will take like star.jsp, star.html, star.spring. Since we given the request as a star.spring here, so as part of the request it will take it as a parameter over there. Okay, now to deploy this application we need to set many jar files. First of all, OJDBC 14 jar file is required for us. Then there are some common collections. I'm going to copy from my location since already I have downloaded for some of the trainings. Then there should be some common DBCP. Even though we're not doing the MVC Maven application, right? So we may get some problems. That's the reason I'm downloading all the jar files. I want to show you this example with only normal application. Common logging. Now, common spool. Now, log4j. I'm going to set all the jar files for my application. Now, if I run the application, if I deploy the application, should execute without fail. I should have some data in my database. Quickly help me out. Username is J2. Password is password, and user email is c@ck.com. Address is USA, India. Mobile number is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And here I should go for type. Type is admin. Comment the changes. Now, if you run the application like J2, it should execute. It's giving some exception. As instance in the class also, this file is 100. So there is some jar file required for this. We need to set the jar file. This we'll see later tomorrow. So tomorrow's class again we'll see about dispatcher servlet explanation and what is simple URL handle mapping, and we also talk about